Good morning, Akansha. Good morning. Good morning, Prakshal. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Yes or no? Are you able to hear my voice? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, speak louder and clear, everybody. If you are not able to hear me, you can tell me. So, all of you are sitting with the book, isn't it? Are you all sitting with the book, Vistas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because today also we have to read the dialogues of Derry and Mr. Lamb. You remember last time we were reading the chapter On the Face of It, written for you on the board, you can see On the Face of It by Suzanne Hill. Remember or forgot? Do you remember
Yes,
it?
sir. Remember.
Okay, yes, good.
Remember, sir.
Yes, you must remember. So, as we begin the chapter, first of all, find out the word of the day. So, today's word for you is explore. E X P L O R E, explore. And what is the meaning of explore? Anybody can tell me? Explore means, it is written there on the board. Explore means,
So it's not clear on the board.
I had sent it on the group also. If you were conscious and did you open the WhatsApp when I sent? You might have opened it only for joining the class. What about the word? Didn't you join? It is given clearly. I had sent a screenshot. So to explore yourself means to examine, to yes, to check, and other meaning are also given there. To find out, to discover. So at least read the word I sent you. You must know the word meaning. Every day I sent you a word, new word. Why? Because it will add to your vocabulary. It will add to your personal dictionary. But you need to pay attention and work on it. So the word of the day is explore, means to examine, to discover, to find out something about yourself or someone. Okay, to explore. So when you are growing up, you are exploring. As a teenager, you are exploring. As a student, you are exploring yourself. As a new teacher, as a new mathematics teacher, he is exploring himself. Then aim. What is the aim of the chapter? The aim of the chapter is to know the different personality affected by different perception. Different personalities affected by different attitude, different perception. Then keywords we have is number one, glow. Glow means to shine. When the fire is burning, you would see it's glowing. Somebody's face is glowing, shining. Next is peculiar, that is strange, unique. Next is trespassing. What is the meaning of trespassing? Last class also we discussed. Yes, Prakshal
So
Daga.
moving illegally.
Yes, Prakshal Daga. Say louder.
Yes, sir.
Meaning of trespassing. Trespassing. Yes, Gracie.
What, sir? I'm unable.
So entering without permission to somebody's land, property, house, that is trespassing. Now, a quick recap of the chapter. Who wants to say the recap or summary of the chapter? Who is interested? Tell me quickly. Any one of you? Raise your hand, those who are interested. Akansha, Diya, Harshin, Prakshal, Shika, Shreya, Sisti. Any one of you? Raise your hand. I can't see any hand. That means no one is interested. You want me to recap the chapter, isn't it? Because your memory is not very sharp. There are plenty of things you need to keep in your mind other than study. You need to find out good quotation for your WhatsApp status, Facebook status. You need to update it daily with your photographs and quotations. You are busy in that, isn't it? So this thing is not important. English is what important? It's not important. There are other things to do in life. Isn't it, Gracie? Yes or no? There are other exciting things in life, Sister Kashyap. What do you say? Shikha, Prakshal Daga. Yes or no? Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I am right. So, what are those other things for you? You are saying yes. What are those other things for you? Interesting, more interesting than English, than academics? Yes, you said yes. Gracie, Diya, Prakshal, Shikha. You said yes.
Sir,
There
I
are
have done.
you many.
Sir, for me,
What is for you?
sir, for me, it's music.
It's music. For whom?
For myself, dear.
Diya. For Diya, it's music. Okay. So Diya, it's music. It might be something, some sports for somebody else. It might be drawing, painting, tourism for someone, cooking for someone. So these things are important for you in life. But education is not important for many of you. As Diya said sincerely that for her education is not important. For her first priority is music. So there are other students for whom also there might be different priorities. But you need to focus on academics for your board exam. You need to focus for learning, not just for the sake of marks, but for learning and real learning. You need to pay attention for learning because you learn. Not only that, you have to write it in the exam, you will get good marks, but also it will give you a lesson for living, for fighting in your life. What lesson do you learn from this chapter, Gracie? Gracie, what lesson? What message? Yeah, Gracie, what do you learn from this chapter on the face of it?
Yes, sir.
Say louder. What lesson? What message? What moral?
So that the people who are handicapped or have physical impairments, they generally suffer from a sense of loneliness and mental pain. They become pessimistic, and their outlook towards life becomes very different. But we should not. We should encourage them and make them optimistic.
Okay, we should do this, we should do that. What about yourself? What do you learn? what do you learn? What, how you are affected by this chapter? Yes, any one of you. Next, Prakshal Daga, what do you think? What does that chapter teach you?
So,
The voice is not clear. Say clearly.
so we should not demoralize. So we should not demoralize people who are handicapped, and we must have positive approach towards our life.
So first of all, it's all about attitude. You must have positive attitude. You must be positive in your thinking because your attitude, your thinking is everything. If you have, I will do it, I shall do it, I can do it, this attitude, then you will not have any problem in your life. Whereas if you have this attitude, oh, I can't do it, it's very difficult for me, what others will say, what people will say, then it is very difficult for you to achieve whatever you want to do in life. So understand, okay? So a quick recap of this chapter from me because all of you have forgotten. Your memory is not very sharp because you have left eating almond, isn't it? Because this is economical crisis time and it's very difficult for the people to purchase even the basic necessity, basic vegetables, etc. So forget about almond. Yes. So there was a dairy, a small boy, 14-year-old boy. He was half burnt. One side of the face was burnt, and therefore he had developed inferiority complex. He was suffering from inferiority complex. So one is superiority complex, second one is inferiority complex. What is superiority complex? Anybody can tell me? Any one of you? What is superiority
So
complex?
may I?
Yes, Prakshal, say.
So one who is rich in his fair complex or maybe superior in caste have this type of complex who see other people below them.
Yes, who considers rest everyone below him. He says, I am the best. I am the most intelligent. I am everything. So he has got superiority complex, and one who thinks about himself, oh, I am the poorest man in the world. I am the shameless man in the world. All negativity. That is the inferiority complex. So Derry was suffering from that, and he happens to meet Mr. Lamb in the garden. Mr. Lamb was an old man around 70 to 75 years old, and the conversation between them starts taking place, and slowly and gradually the words, the experience, the motivational speech of Mr. Lamb changes the personality, changes the attitude of Derry. It changed him completely. Finally, Mr. Lamb told Derry that I know people do that. People talk to me and they do in life that they say I would come, I would return, but they don't return. So actually in negativity, it was positivity. He wanted to bring back Derry. Derry said, I'm going back to meet my mother because I have not informed her where I have been. So I will inform her and return. And when he returns, he found that Mr. Lamb had fallen from the ladder, and he comes and he tries to wake him up. Derry, he says, Mr. Lamb, let me lamb, wake up, wake up, wake up, I have come, you see, I have come, I told you I would come and I have come. But Mr. Lamb doesn't wake up, he had died. He passed his positivity to Derry, to Derek. And in this way, Derek became a positive, transformed man. So last time we had read up to the page number 61. Those who have got books, take out your book. Page number 61, we were reading. Last line on page number 61. We shall continue from this, and I want two volunteers to read. So who will read? You can raise your hand. loud and clear. Those who want to read can raise your hand. I can't see only Prakshal hand. Okay. One is Prakshal and there are no other hand. Okay. So I would read Mr. Lamb's part and Prakshal would read Derry's part. Okay. And we can change afterward. So page number 61, last line I am reading and rest of you follow, rest of you listen. Mr. Lamb says, you could lock yourself up in a room and never leave it. There was a man who did that. He was afraid, you see, of everything. Everything in this world. A bus might run him over, or a man might breathe deadly jumps onto him, or a donkey might kick him to death, or lightning might strike him down, or he might love a girl and the girl would leave him, and he might slip on a banana skin and fall, and people who saw him would laugh their heads off. So he went into this room and locked the door and got into his bed and stayed there forever. For a while, then what? A pitcher fell off the wall onto his head and killed him. Derry laughs a lot. So Derry, hearing this story, he laughs. He is trying to change Derry's attitude, Derry's mentality. So Mr. Lamb is giving many examples, different examples from his life, from whatever experience he had in his life. He is trying to persuade him. He is trying to tell him that you need to face the world. You need to encounter this kind of situation, these kind of people. Because if you lock yourself in the room, it is not good for you. Therefore, he had given the example of a man who was afraid of everything. He was afraid of going out. He was afraid of meeting the people. He was afraid that if he goes out on the road, a car, a vehicle might come and knock him down, and some snake might come and bite him. But when he had locked himself in the room, one day when he was sitting, a pitcher fell on him and he died. And Derry gave a good laugh. Yes, now read Derry's part. Prakshal, read.
But you still say peculiar things.
Peculiar to some.
What do you do all day?
Oh, I sit in the sun, read books. Ah, you thought it was an empty house, but inside it's full. Books and other things. Full. It is completely filled.
But there are not any curtains at the windows.
I'm not fond of curtains, shutting things out, shutting things in. I like the light and the darkness and the windows open to hear the wind.
Yes, I like that. When it's raining, I like to hear it on the roof.
So you are not lost, are you? Not altogether. You do hear things, you listen.
They talk about me downstairs when I am not there. What will he ever do? What is going to happen to him when we have gone? However will he get on in this world? Looking like that, with that on his face. That's what they say.
So Derry is opening his heart, his mind to Mr. Lamb, and he's telling that even my parents are worried about him. They talk behind me. When I'm not there, sometime I heard them talking. They were talking about me. They were saying, oh, poor guy, what he will do when we have gone. Until and unless we are here, we are taking care of him. As a parents, we are caring for him. But what about the time when we are not there? What will happen to him? Who will take care of him? So even he is feeling negativity. He is filled with negativity about his parents, about his friends, about the society, about his family. Lord boy, you have got two arms, two legs, and eyes and ears. You have got a tongue and a brain. You will get on the way you want, like all the rest. And if you chose and set your mind to it, you could get on better than all the rest.
How?
So Mr. Lamb, again he is trying to tell him that, why do you worry? You have got two hands, two legs. You can work, you can earn money. Don't worry, you will be fine. Now, Mr. Lamb's part would be read by Aditya Agrawal. Aditya, say yes, loud and clear.
Just came now.
Can you read it louder?
Sir, I have just came now.
You
Don't
got
know
where we
where.
are reading?
No, sir.
So
Okay.
may I read?
Okay, Gracie will read that part, Mr. Lamb's, and Prakshal would read the same part she was reading, Derry's part. Yes, Prakshal, continue.
Do you have any friends?
Hundreds.
But you live by yourself in that house. It's a big house, too.
Friends everywhere. People come in. Everybody knows me. The gate's always open. They come and sit here and in front of the fire in winter. Kids come for the apples and pears and for toffee. I make toffee with honey. Anybody comes. So have you?
But I'm not a friend.
Certainly you are. So far as I am concerned. What have you done to make me think you are not?
You don't know me. You don't know where I come from or even what my name is.
Why should that signify? Do I have to write all your particulars down and put them in a filling box before you can be a friend?
I suppose not. No.
You could tell me your name if you choose and not if you didn't.
Derry. Only it's Derek. But I hate that. Derry. If I'm your friend, you don't have to be mine. I chose that.
Certainly.
I might never come here again. You might never see me again. And then I could not still be a friend.
Why not?
How could I? You pass people in the street and you might even speak to them. But you never see them again. It doesn't mean they are friends.
So here, Mr. Lamb and Derry both are talking. Mr. Lamb is telling anybody comes here. Those who come here, my friend. And Derry is telling that, how can you say that we are friend? We have just met for the first time and not even half an hour has been over. We have been talking. So he says, what's the matter? Derry says, you don't even know my name. I don't know your name. I don't know what you do. You don't know who am I, where do I live. So Mr. Lamb says that that's not signify, that's not important. For friendship, it's not important. You just came here, we are talking, we are friends. And then again, Derry says that like that you meet many people on the street, on the road. So do you think all of them are your friend? So here you would see the perception, the attitude, the difference in the perception or the attitude of the two person. One is a 14-year-old boy, Derry, who is filled with complete negativity. He just speaks about negativity. Whereas Mr. Lamb, he is an experienced man and he is filled with all positivity. So he is trying to change Derry or Derek with his positive thoughts, positive ideas. Yes, we continue now. Yes, turn the page. Continue.
Yes, sir. Doesn't mean they are enemies. Either does it?
No, they are just nothing. People, that's all.
People are never just nothing. Never.
There are some people I hate.
That had do you more harm than any bottle of acid. Acid only burns your face.
So here he says that that would do more harm
Only?
to you than acid. Acid has burnt you only externally. Only externally your face has been burned. But with this kind of negativity or negative feelings, your heart is burned. Your inner soul is burned. Your mind is burned. So that is the difference of opinion between the two personalities. Continue.
Like a bomb only blew up my leg. There's worse things can happen. You can burn yourself away inside.
After I would come home, one person said he would have been better off stopping in there, in the hospital. He would be better off with others like himself. She thinks blind people only ought to be with other blind people and idiot boys with idiot boys.
And people with no legs altogether?
That's right.
What kind of world would that be?
At least there would be nobody to stare at you because you are not like them.
So you think you are just the same as all the other people with burnt faces, just by what you look like. Ah, everything's different. Everything's the same. But if everything is different itself.
So he's saying, Mr. Lamb is saying that when my leg had blown and when I discharged from the hospital, a man told him that it would have been better if he was in the hospital with other people, those who are living with artificial leg or tin leg. So that's what I had told you yesterday, that कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का तो काम है कहना. लोगों का मुंह बंद करना बड़ा मुश्किल है. चाहे अच्छा काम करो, चाहे बुरा काम करो. You do whatever you like to do, however amount or effort you put, but still people will either criticize or appreciate. And there are always two kinds of people, personality, person. One to criticize and one to appreciate. So he is telling Derry, you think if this theory applies and if you are living with all the types of persons whose face is burned, then how would you feel? Continue. And then he is trying to tell that it's all same. Beauty and the beast. It's only the difference of perception, opinion, thinking, attitude. Only our attitude matters. Only our thinking matters. We become what do we think. Continue.
How do you make all that out?
Watching, listening, thinking.
I would like a place like this, a garden. I would like a house with no curtains.
The gate's always open.
But this is not mine.
Everything's yours if you want it. What's mine is anybody's.
So I could come here again. Even if you were out, I could come here.
Certainly, you might find others here, of course.
Oh,
Well, that needn't stop you. You needn't mind.
I would stop them. They would mind me. When they saw me here, they look at my face and run.
It would
They might.
stop them. They would mind me when they saw me here. They look at my face and run. So when Mr. Lamb said that you could come here anytime, you are free to come here anytime. Nobody will stop you. My gates are always open. Even if I'm not here, you need not worry that whether you should come or not. So Derek says, still he is filled with negativity, and Derek says that it would stop them coming. Them here used for whom? Them here used for the people, other children, those who are coming in the garden of Mr. Lamb. He says that if I start coming every day, it would stop the people. The people would stop coming to the garden. Why? Because looking at my burned face. Looking at my burned face, they would complain. They would not like it. They would not be interested in me. And therefore, they would stop coming. So this is the thinking, this is the attitude, this is the personality of Derek. Still he is negative. It's very difficult for him to come out of his negative shell. Yes, continue. Continue.
They might, yes, sir. They might not. You had have to take the risk. So would they?
No, you would. You might have me and lose all your other friends because nobody wants to stay near me if they can help it.
I have not moved.
No,
When I go down the street, the kids shout, "Lemmy Lamb." But they still come into the garden, into my house. It's a game. They are not afraid of me. Why should they be? Because I am not afraid of them. That's why not.
did you get your leg blown off in the war?
Certainly.
How will you climb on a ladder and get the crab apples down? Then,
Oh, there's a lot of things I have learned to do. And plenty of time for it. Yes, I take it steady.
if you fell and broke your neck, you could lie on the grass and die if you were on your own.
I could.
So still
You said
you
I
see,
could help
wait,
you.
just a minute. You see, still he is talking all negative. He's saying, how do you manage this? How do you do this? Your one leg is not there. How do you manage life with your one leg? And if you climb on the ladder, it might happen that you may fall down and you would die. You may perhaps die over there. There would be nobody to help you. So he is still filled with negativity. He has not come out of his negative attitude. And Mr. Lamb is trying to change, transform his personality. Continue. Read.
If you want to.
But my mother will want to know where I am. It's 3 miles home across the fields. I'm 14, but they still want to know where I am.
People worry.
People first.
Go
People
back
worry,
and then tell
people
them.
first. So you can just know the difference between the two person. One is saying people worry. So worry is positivity. When somebody worries about you, your mother, your father, your friends, they worry about you. But what Derek says, people first. So they fuss, they don't worry, they just show up and they make fuss of it. So still the difference in their opinion, difference in their thinking. Continue.
Go back and tell them.
It's 3 miles.
It's fine evening. You have got legs.
Once I got home, they would never let me come back.
Once you got home, you would never let yourself come back.
You don't know. You don't know what I could do.
No, only you know that.
Okay, so now he is
If
telling
I
that
chose.
let me inform my mother because she might be worried about me, and let me go and inform her that I am here. She must know where I am. So he says that Mr. Lamb says that people always do like that. They have always excuse to not to do things. There are thousands of excuse you can give for not doing thing which you don't like to do. So he's saying, no, I am not like that. I really want to go home and I want to inform my mother and I would return. I would come. You don't know what I could do. Mr. Lamb, no, only you know that. So still Mr. Lamb has not got angry. He has not told him any negativity. he is speaking all good things, all positivity to Derek. Derek says, if I chose means if I chose to remain back, if I chose not to return, what will happen? And Mr. Lamb says, if you chose, I don't know everything. Boy, I can't tell you what to do. Now he is trying to tell Derry that you have to take your decision. You have to choose what you want to do in life. You have to take your decision as a responsible boy. Continue.
They tell me
Do you have to agree?
I don't know what I want. I want something no one else has got or ever will have. Something just mine, like this garden. I don't know what it is.
You could find out.
How?
Waiting, watching, listening, sitting here or going there. I will have to see to the bees.
Those other people who come here, do they talk to you, ask you things?
Some do, some don't. I ask them. I like to learn.
I don't believe in them. I don't think anybody ever comes. You are here all by yourself and miserable, and no one would know if you were alive or dead, and nobody cared.
So still he is negative. He is saying that you are telling all these things. Not true. He says, I don't believe in them. I don't believe in the people. I think whatever you are telling me, you are just telling it for the sake of conversation. For the sake of telling me, you are telling it. But actually, it's not real. People do not care about you. They do not love you. They do not want to know about you. It's all unreal. Continue.
You think what you please.
Alright then, tell me some of their names.
What are names? Tom, Dick, or Harry?
So he
I'm
asks,
off down to the bees.
yes, he tells. The boy asked him to mention the name. If you are telling that you know them, if the people love you, if the people come to you, tell me their names. So he's telling what is in name. Naam mein kya rakha hai? So he's telling their names are different. Tom, Dick, and Harry. So he says that I don't ask the name from the people. They know me by my face. You have entered my garden. I know you. You know me. We have talked for a long time, and therefore we are friends, therefore we are here. So like that, people come, they talk to me, they spend their time, I give them toffee, I give them jelly. Continue.
What the? Crazy.
That's good excuse.
What for? You don't talk sense.
What for
Good
you don't talk
excuse.
sense means you are talking senseless, you are talking nonsense. Continue.
Good excuse not to come back. And you've got a burned up face. And that's other people's excuse.
You are like the others. You like to say things like that. If you don't feel sorry for my face, you are frightened of it. And if you are not frightened, you think I'm ugly as a devil. I'm a devil, don't you?
Mr. Lamb does not reply. He has gone to his bees. So still the boy is filled with his negativity, and he wants to talk about his face. He wants to talk about one side of the cheek which is burnt. He says, you are not talking about my face. Why are you not interested in this? So if you are not talking, you are frightened of it. Inside of your heart, you want to say, you have the feeling that I am a devil. I am a bad man, but you are just not expressing it through your words. So Mr. Lamb doesn't reply, doesn't respond. He just goes to his bees. He had told him that I make jelly, I collect the crab apples, I take out the honey from the honeycomb. So I'm busy in so many things. I play with butterfly. I sing with the beetles. I enjoy the nature, all those things. Yes. Now